World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. The White House says United States military operations are making steady progress in the ongoing conflict with Iran. According to BBC News, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says American forces are weakening Iran's ability to target commercial ships and are close to achieving the main goals of what she calls Operation Epic Fury. Now, 25 days into the conflict, she says the U.S. is already ahead of schedule, adding Iran's nuclear program has been severely damaged and leaders may now be seeking a way out of the crisis. Meanwhile, Secretary Leavitt says Iran signaled a willingness to negotiate after U.S. President Donald Trump warned of possible strikes on its energy facilities. She notes that President Trump has held what she describes as productive talks with Iran over the past 3 days. While emphasizing that President Trump prefers a peaceful resolution, Secretary Leavitt warns that failure to comply could lead to even stronger military action. In other news overseas, a commander from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says the country launched strikes targeting the Israeli cities of Dimona and Haifa, calling it a clear response to threats from United States President Donald Trump. According to BBC News, Iranian state media reports the IRGC carried out the attacks, while Israel's Home Front Command earlier warned that projectiles from Iran could land on those areas. IRGC Aerospace Force Commander Sayed Majid Musavi also posted online saying any threat or ultimatum against Iran should be seen as an act of war. The developments come after President Trump warned over the weekend that he could obliterate Iranian power plants if the Strait of Hormuz was not reopened. However, he later said he would delay that possible action for 5 days. Tensions between the two sides remain high as both continue to exchange strong warnings. And finally, Israel says it is expanding its security zone in southern Lebanon to counter the threat of anti-tank missiles. According to BBC News, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the move will create a wider buffer area and help stop any possible ground invasion by the Iran-backed group Hezbollah. In recent days, Israeli forces have destroyed several bridges along the Litani River, about 19 miles from the border, saying these were being used to transport fighters and weapons. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says the actions are aimed at cutting off Hezbollah's movements in the region. He also mentions thousands of displaced civilians will not be allowed to return to southern areas yet. According to Israeli officials, they will only be allowed back once security is fully ensured for communities in northern Israel. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.